Welcome back to some more Texas Chainsaw Massacre here on the second channel. I am, in fact, alive. I know it's been a little radio silent here on the second channel, but anyone that's followed me on my main channel with Madden definitely knows that I am alive and well. But obviously, I wanted to get back into some more Texas Chainsaw Massacre here, and definitely will be with the new Rush Week kind of content pass drop. Now, I will say some of the stuff I read ahead a little bit, and I'll have my thoughts at the end. But I also kind of glanced over it, not fully reading top to bottom, because I wanted to kind of, get most of that in with you guys as a quote-unquote live reaction. But, yeah, welcome back to the channel, I suppose. Let's take a look at Rush Week. Of course, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre presents Rush Week. Rush Week is a Giallo-inspired multiplayer mode coming to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Rush Week takes its inspiration from the late 70s Giallo-inspired slasher films. The love for that subgenre of cinema gives you a clear vision of the horror film that you can cast yourself in with this 1v6 multiplayer mode taking place after the events of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Johnny is off wreaking havoc to unsuspecting victims, landing at the Omega Sigma Theta sorority house. That's a long freaking winded one. We set our scene with Johnny attempting to break in. The goal for the sorority girls: survive and make it out alive. Johnny and 6 new playable sorority girls will be randomly assigned at the beginning of the match. This 2-story sorority house features multiple spots to run and hide in, including a locked basement that can be explored. Traversal is similar to the original game, with multiple windows that can be jumped out of, ladders to climb, and even an attic area with its own unique escape option. So this is a 2-story house, but that doesn't mean that it is going to only be 2 stories, right? It seems like 2 stories is actually 4 levels. If you're counting the basement as 1, the base floor, the second floor, and then the attic. That's what I'm getting at here. But while the sorority girls will not have any perks, there are key items scattered throughout the house to help them escape. A pair of car keys can be found to unlock a car, where you can radio to the police to get help. Secondarily, players can also complete a fuse objective to use a phone in the house to call the police as well. The police have been successfully called. Players will have a limited amount of time to survive in the sorority house with Johnny. There is an attic pole that can be used to make your final escape via an attic hatch, but be warned, at most only 2 sorority girls can escape through an exit. Through that exit, Johnny players can also break the ladder to prevent their escape. So I wonder how that's going to work. Is it going to be like a, you can repair the ladder type of thing? Kind of like, let's be real. This is basically them recreating F-13 in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Not saying that's a bad thing. Not saying that's a lazy thing. Just saying, if we're on that basis, we can kind of correlate a few things. Would this be similar to when you can kind of break the phone fuse to call the police, and then it can be repaired? I don't know how you would really repair a ladder. Maybe you can find a new one. But, how would this work? Does it have to be, like, the victims have to set up the ladder and then he can break it? Because otherwise he'll just run up there and break it right away. I imagine they have that planned out. Of course, here's the kind of image, the teaser image a lot of people have, been looking at. Obviously the phone seems like a big play in this one, is calling the police. But here we are with the sorority girls. They can buy themselves time by using various weapons and distractions like the wrench, the knife, and the pepper spray, as well as an all-new mechanic using perfume that can be thrown at him to reveal his location, which is interesting. Obviously, kind of like, you can smell that perfume. You can smell he's coming. I would imagine it's kind of like you can see through the walls with him. But Johnny's objective is to hunt. With each execution, he will get stronger, making him more lethal the longer a match goes. Within Rush Week, there will be a fear system in place where if a sorority girl has a high level of fear, Johnny can smell that fear and find them easier. So it's important for the sorority girls to complete objectives in order to lower their amount of fear, or Johnny is going to get them. So you can't really camp. It seems like it's going to be a super stealthy game mode, but they also don't want you to camp in a corner the whole game and then, everyone else is doing things for you. You got to get things done. Otherwise, he's going to see you through walls. You're going to die. Rush Week kicks off our new era of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the blessing of Kim Henkel himself, and we are exploring and creating within the world of Texas while still adhering to the authenticity of the game. And then, of course, we have some quotes from Ronnie Hobbs and Wes Keltner talking about being able to explore their own canon within Rush Week. Johnny isn't in the first, why isn't he in other modes, or the films? Being able to create a new time frame for Johnny to exist lets us play around with the idea. This new game mode takes place 5 years later and gives you clues to what Johnny is up to. Gotta love Kim Henkel, though. You gotta love that, this creativity is being allowed to exist, right? We all know about how F-13 ended, and it was just a disaster. So it's cool to see that they are kind of like branching out hard. Like, this is a huge branch out moment. Like, imagine this game mode is massive and it overtakes the main game mode. And, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is supposed to be Leatherface and whatnot, is all now the Johnny Massacre. It's kind of crazy, but the goal of Rush Week was to create a unique and new way to play Texas while exploring one of the new family members. Internally, we asked the question, if Johnny is in our game, why does he not appear in the 74 film? Where did he go? This game mode allows us to explore that storyline a bit. At the same time, it allows me to selfishly incorporate a film genre I love, Giallo. If you haven't watched a 70s era Italian horror film, please do. There's really nothing else like it, and honestly, Giallo's crawled so Western slashers could walk. It was fun to be inspired by that film genre while also looking at other very early slashers and figure out a way to make it work within the world of Texas. I can't wait for players to check it out. Of course, you can play it 4 days early with the content pass, $20. You also get like a bunch of different stuff. If the game is to exist long term, if you're somebody that buys the characters, you buy cosmetics, whatever, content pass probably will be worth it. The last kind of dual victim pack they had, or victim family pack they had, was $17.99, so $2 more and you're getting a bunch of different stuff. You're also getting the execution pack right away, apparently. So in theory, if the game is going to last longer, the content pass probably is worth it. All right, now that we get the gist of it, seems like, as Slash and Cast put it on Twitter, an indoors F-13 game, which once again doesn't sound terrible. It actually sounds pretty cool. We can get to the thoughts. My thoughts, the first thing, the obvious thing that everyone's talking about on the Reddit, is the fact that, believe it or not, you cannot queue up with friends. So this is a game mode where you are playing solo no matter what, which is definitely a decision. I get it. The normal mode, especially if you're on victim side, playing with friends can be very overwhelming for the other side. It is really strong. If you coordinate an attack as a victim, it is literally impossible to stop. I mean, you have a good chance to stop it if you're family on comms with, Cook, Hitchhiker, and Hands, because Hands is just so OP. But for the most part, it is really strong, really hard to stop. So imagine a situation where it's 6 people all talking together against one. That would be bad. However, these games are more fun to play with friends. The majority of the people that started playing this game, I would argue, started with a friend or two. Why not make it where you can just queue up with one other friend? Another thing that, talking about, not wanting people to team up and all that good stuff. Will game comms be off? Will there be no comms in game? Because if you can talk to other players in game, it's just not people you're, friends with. What's really the difference? You can still coordinate, and that's kind of the whole point, I would imagine, of not letting you queue with friends. I would still think, just to start, just have one friend. Allowed to play one friend, maybe 2 perhaps. I would say most people aren't a 4-stack, and if they are, if you allow them to play with one other person, they can just split up that team. They can still play with a friend. I just think completely killing off the ability to play with friends is a bad decision for an online-only game. I think it's just not a smart decision in general. I mean, think about how bad it was for the game when crossplay was turned off. A lot of people were turned away and never came back. And that's crossplay. There was still options. If you had a good PC, you could cross progress from Xbox at least and still play with your PC friends or vice versa. But this is literally, you can't play with your friends. There's no workaround. There's nothing. Can't play on a different console or anything like that. You literally cannot play with your friends. So if there is, let's say half of the percentage of the people playing, which I think is pretty fair. I mean, I don't think I've played a single game where there wasn't at least some sort of stack on one of the sides. If this was the mode they were waiting for, which I know my friends specifically, they were waiting to play this mode. We haven't played together since the anniversary debacle. So they're not coming back. I mean, they're just not coming back. So if there's other people that were waiting for this as well and they had friends to play with, they're not coming back either. As far as streamers that play this game, that play with friends, that's going to kill it for them, obviously. And if it kills it for them, then it's going to kill it for their viewer base, because they're not going to stream the mode. Personally, I just don't think it's a good decision, even though, like I said, I do understand the concerns about communicating as a team. It can be very strong. Maybe, like I said, just make it where you can play with one other friend, and that could work out. I think that could work out. Let me know what you guys think about that. I do want to also get into the idea that I don't know where I've seen it, but I believe there is no perks, right? Because it's going to be... I'm pretty sure they said no perks, but I don't mind that. Now, here's the thing with no perks. I think that the metas in the game have been just completely ruined by the fact that there are perks, but with the lack of a level cap increase, with the lack of challenges to unlock cosmetics, perks are honestly the only replayability of this game at this rate. You know, we've all played for over a year. We get the gist of the game mode, the base game. It's fun, but replayability is huge, and most games get that from unlocking stuff by doing certain challenges, leveling up, whatever. And perks are the only thing, assuming most people are 99 by now, which I would say a lot are. Definitely over 50% of the player base is, especially since, it's kind of dwindling, so it's really the diehard fans that are sticking around for the most part. Without leveling up, without perks, you're basically playing just to play. How long can that last? Personally, I don't know if that can last that long. So with the fact that it doesn't seem that, here it is, no perks. Not leveling up perks means, where is the replayability? Are you leveling up your actual character, maybe? I doubt it, though. I personally think this is going to be, you're stuck as a base sorority girl trying to escape whatever, and their ratings, if they even have ratings, they might all just be the same exact, people, and you're just trying to get out finding items. The XP is gone. The XP is useless, and like I said, the replayability is gone. I think it could really help if they had a level cap increase or challenges unlockable, unlockable challenges, cosmetics through challenges, which maybe there will be. Maybe, they actually have a plan for that, which would be awesome. But otherwise, where is your tie to those characters, right? Like, especially since you can't even choose which sorority girl you want, what's really your tie in there, right? Like, you're not leveling up a specific character. Escapes are probably a thing, but do people really care about their escape stats? I don't know. I personally never did. I cared about having fun by just door slamming and distracting so everyone else can escape and I can escape through whatever escape they got done if I can get there in time. Those are my concerns. Not being able to play with friends could kill the player base, and for me personally, it means I'm basically going to be playing solo when with uploading content. Really, that's mainly the time I'm going to be playing the game. And then, of course, the replayability of no perks means any XP you're getting, for the most part, most people being 99, is gone. It's useless. You're playing the game mode just to play the game mode, which is great and all. I think the core game is pretty fun, but it's 2024 now. You got games like Fortnite that have, they've had Michael Myers in the game, and, Call of Duty has Michael Myers coming in, and, a bunch of different games have all these different options, which, don't get me wrong, those are paid content, I believe. But, you have those unlockables as well in those types of games. Like, Call of Duty has had camos since, COD 4, 20-some years ago, almost 20 years ago. You need something for people to do other than the base game, and taking away perks is going to make it even less so, which, once again, I think the perk meta was annoying. It is annoying, and it's good, but replayability is going to be hurt. And, yeah, I want to know what you guys think of the information of Rush Week. How many of you guys actually play with friends? Maybe you're a solo queue player and you're like, I love this. I really hate playing against stacked teams, which I do as well sometimes. Sometimes it's really annoying. They're cheesing every little thing they can and, maybe holding the game hostage or instantly leaving, so now we all have to queue up for a long time. But I do think that playing with friends is a pivotal aspect of these types of games, whether it be with one friend, two friends. Just like I said, limit the amount of people you can play with maybe to just one or two, and I don't think it'd be a problem, especially if, once again, you're allowing in-game comms. If you're allowing in-game comms, if they're not turned off, I don't know what we're doing then. I really don't know what we're doing, but yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will obviously be playing this when it comes out, and I'm hoping it's great because, as much as I've had some dislike for the developing decisions, I think the core game is great, and it's a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of fun with it over the last year plus. But I think there's some decisions that maybe could have done without. Regardless, hopefully you'll see more content on this game from me in the near future, hopefully before Rush Week even comes out. Maybe I can upload a couple of videos. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video,